Today I'm going to mount the fender on the back of this swing arm. My fender just came in. I don't know when it actually came in. I was cleaning out my garage and there was a package sitting in there, and I noticed it was my fender. So I don't even know when it came in. I guess the garage door's been open, so maybe the delivery person just set it in there. It had like some kind of a vent deal. This is an Versys fender I bought. I think I bought on eBay or Amazon, I can't remember. But it had like, it was like a motard fender, and so this part, it had some vents to keep the engine cool, keep airflow, and I just cut those off because I didn't want it to be that big, with some tin snips. But if I hold it right here, that looks about perfect how I want it. I didn't design this thing really thinking much of a fender. I knew I could figure something out when it actually came in and I could set it. But what I think I'm going to do is take this piece of flat bar and cut it, just weld it, and then put 2 bolts through the fender here, and then get the right angle there, and then just weld it on there. So real simple. I want it to be as close to the tire as possible. It should move with the tire, with the suspension, since it's mounted to the swing arm. So I want it to be close, I guess, but not so close that, you know, dirt will get stuck in it and then cause the tire to stop. So I guess really kind of probably about right there. So it actually kind of ends up working out pretty well. So let me mark this piece of flat bar and get it cut. Alright about there. I've noticed a lot of times after you drill holes, you end up with this like little extra bit coming out on the leaving side, the exiting side that the drill bit comes out of. I found one way that you can clean those up is by using a stepper bit and just kind of hit it just a little bit. See that? Now it gets rid of those shards and it actually gives you a little bit of a tapered edge. So it actually makes it a little bit easier for that bolt to go in. Hit both sides just real briefly there. Now you don't want to go all the way through because then you'll make the hole bigger, but now it's got a tapered edge on all four sides and it's smooth. I couldn't wait, and so I already have painted this from a couple weeks ago. I'm going to go ahead and strip the paint off because it's a lot easier welding when you don't have to burn paint off as you go. I'm going to try to center this up just visually and then put 2 holes through the fender. Go right there. Well, just drilling through plastic, real easy. There's the 2 holes going through the slightly reinforced sections of the plastic there. Grade A bolts are not necessary for this because I'm going through plastic, but I have a bunch of grade 8 bolts, so that's what I'm going to use. Bolt through a washer. Flip it over. Go washer. Lock washer. And then nut. So now all I got to do is center this thing up where I want it. Probably right there. Looks pretty good. So when it's down, it kind of looks, I don't know, it looks neater when it's up a little bit higher, I think. So maybe right there. So I wonder what I'll do is I'll get something to set here to hold it so I've got it at the right angle, and then I'll tack weld. That looks pretty good. The reason you want to do a real small tack like that is because that will be strong enough to hold the bar in place, and then there's not enough that you can still bend it to get it level how you want it. As your weld cools, your material is going to shift. Now, I won't need that. I do want to remove the plastic because that's going to get real hot. I don't want it to melt the fender. I'm welding really hot too. I'm on D, which is probably supposed to be C, but I've kind of gotten used to welding hot, so C probably would work just fine. Some of y'all watching may have noticed that before I did that, look at that, I can't get this bolt out now without removing that one first. Not a big deal. I need to remove it so I can paint this. So I guess I need to remove it anyway. But another option is I can just get my grinder, my cutting disc, and just cut this bolt so it's a little bit shorter. I'm probably going to do that anyway. I've got a couple of these that kind of stick out a little far, and there's not really a reason to. I can just cut that off and clean the tips so that the nut still goes on and off, and then it looks a little bit neater. And then I could put that on and take it off, and it won't interfere or get in the way. That's not my best spray paint job because can't really get to it very well, but I think it'll work. It's not really well seen, so I will go with that and see what happens. I'm going to give that a lot of time to dry, and then I'll come back and bolt all this stuff back together. Okay, after a long time of letting this thing dry, it's been like a week, I think. I've done a couple other things to this thing since I worked on this, but you know, I put a sticker on it, a Versys. I got a Kawasaki sticker up there, and I got another Kawasaki sticker on that swing arm. But here it is. You know, the paint seems to be okay. I mean, I haven't left it outside, but you know, it looks good enough. If it gets a little bit of rust, who cares? But there's what it looks like with the Fender on it. So I think it looks good. I think it turned out okay. I've driven this thing once since doing this, and it flops around a little bit on the road, but it's not a big deal, I don't think. I think, maybe, I don't know if I wanted it to be a little more stable, I may have used a bigger, maybe a 2-inch or a 3-inch flat bar, and then bolted it in 4 places. Or, maybe something coming down, I don't know, just something holding it in more than one spot. This weld seems to be okay. I mean, I guess if you look at it closely, there's a little bit of movement to that flat bar, but it's mostly the plastic. It's built this way for a reason. These things get a little bit of movement, and that's okay. So we'll see how it goes long term, but so far so good. I'm excited about it. keep watching, like, subscribe if you want to see more. I've some more advanced, more things I'm going to do is I'm going to put a actual brake light on here, and then I'm going to put a flag, like a go-kart flag on this so I can be seen. I still need to do some more work to that front hitch. I got to put some more braces on it. It's pretty good actually the way it is when I tested it, but there's a couple other things I want to do to strengthen it just a little bit more, and then I need to paint that front, and then I should be good to take this thing on a not just a test ride but on an actual ride and see what I think. Thanks for watching.